Hello everyone, welcome to conference this week and to our lovely wellness center. I wanted to continue to talk about the new year because it's such a great opportunity for all of us to reflect on our year past, to be grateful, and also to set intention for the year to come. And so this is the last part of our Diwali celebration. I know those of you out there watching at our Diwali days are past, but I kind of continue this part of my life where I'm in reflection and journaling and thinking and changing and cleaning and getting rid of things and all that stuff until January 1st. So have fun with me. I invite you to have fun with me. I wanted to focus this year in particular on possibility. And this summer I had the great fun and honor of going to the Pageant of the Masters, which is something that's very Laguna Beach, where people reenact art pieces, and there's an orchestra and music, and it's really quite unique and lovely. And of all the different art that I got to see this summer at the Pageant of the Masters, there was one piece in particular that spoke to me. I would actually say after that night it haunted me, but in a beautiful way. I kept thinking about the figure and I wanted to know more about the piece. And so I looked it up online and found out a little bit more about the artist. And so T has put this on there for you so you can see. The piece is a resin sculpture. It was exhibited at the World Fair in 1939. The artist is Paul Manship, and he's done a lot of pieces you might recognize if you Google his name. But this piece in particular struck me. It was an 80-foot, at the time it was the largest sundial that was ever created. And the white resin made it just so striking. So there's the beautiful long sundial that you've seen, and underneath the sundial is a tree of life where it's shading three goddesses. There are three Greek goddesses. And the name of this piece is Man's Time in Fate. And the first goddess is standing on a rock, and she's leaning forward. And this is a word I'm like putting in your mind for the new year, is the word leaning. She's leaning into the future. She represents our future self. And her throat's exposed, her chest is open, her one arm is extended holding a distaff. And a distaff is not a weapon, it's not it's actually a tool that's used for weaving. So you can see it kind of has a point to it, but there's the wrapping of the thread that is to represent us creating and weaving our future. And as she stands on this rock and this beautiful like white apparition, this goddess, there's a rope that tethers her to the goddess behind her, her sister, who is the goddess of our present moment, our present life as we live it in this moment. And she's standing right behind her. And it's interesting to me, the metaphor that I've taken from this piece is that they stand on the same rock. So as present is here living this moment, she's also at the same time leaning into her future of possibility and what she will create. Then behind them, shaded by the tree of life, is a third goddess who's crouched down, and this rope is tethered to her as well. And she's cutting it, she's clipping it, which represents the letting go of our past. And it's interesting to me because I'd been studying some different scientists and different theology and things that I really appreciate over the years, and kind of pulling it all together this past year that has to do with the importance of seeing what it is that we want, like leaning in or stepping into possibility of what we want to create in our life, how important that is to live in the present moment and at the same time lean into what it is that we want to draw in. But the other piece that I've been really studying and working with my students, myself on, is this piece about letting go of our past. So, you know, in our teachings we've been saying where we hold stuff in the psoas muscles and the whole let it go, let it go, let it snow, is all part to me of the same idea that to really live in the present and to lean into our future, oftentimes we need to cut a tie of our past and let go of things. I was making jokes with my students. I'm like, can you imagine if that beautiful apparition, this goddess, is leaning into her future with two heavy like suitcases filled with like junk she's going to take into her future from the past? When this metaphor for us, this symbol is like that we have the power we are all three goddesses. We are all three apparitions to cut that thread and to stay grounded in our present moment, which is our yoga teaches us to do so beautifully. And then we tip into the future that we want to create. So my message to all of you is to see this beautiful art piece in your mind. And when you're thinking of setting intentions or when you're doing something, you can actually feel that your throat is exposed and that your heart is open and that you're taking risks and you're going to lean into whatever it is that you want to create in your life this year. So my little quote for all of you that is really inspired by Paul's beautiful art piece is, I don't have my glasses, so let's see. Lean into your future of possibility with outstretched arms, extended heart and throat. Take risks. Stand strong and firm in the present moment of now, and release the past. And I had to add to that John O'Donoghue's beautiful line in his poem that says, "May your heart never be haunted by ghost structures of old damage." As always, it's fun for me to share these teachings with my students here and my students, all of you out there. Namaste.